It's March 15th, 2008. I'm Wes Thompson, Chairman of the Constitution Party for Pennsylvania. A few things I wanted to add I didn't go into a lot of detail in the last video as much as I could have. I'd like to emphasize that everyone that's involved in the Constitution Party, I think they all have the same goals in mind. And we need to stay focused on the goals and not on our differences amongst each other. It really is detrimental to a patriot freedom movement, and we infight and backbite. And I just hope people would keep that in mind. That if you really are in this for the right reason, which I think most of us probably are, don't focus on what everyone else is doing differently that you might or might not necessarily agree with. Focus on what you have in common. What you have in common is the Constitution being the most important document in history as far as I can see, outside of the Bible. And that's something that I'm sure that I didn't emphasize in the last video, that please, whatever faith you are, ask God for your guidance and wisdom. And if one person worships at a different church than another, this shouldn't be the emphasis of the Constitution Party. The emphasis should be that our rights come from God, and that government should leave our rights alone, and our right to freely worship in whatever church, whatever faith, should not be in question here. And this shouldn't be a political test, a religious test to be involved in the political process. So even though I am a Christian, just for your information, born again Christian, I believe the Bible being the Word of God. And but I don't necessarily have to go along with. I don't have to agree with everything everyone says to be involved in the political process or the Constitution Party. So the common goals is what we need to stay focused on. And for all the people that have been involved in the freedom movement and watched this country deteriorate for so long, it's a very daunting task, and people burn out on this stuff. And I've been involved for 10 years or more, and I can see it, and I know the only thing that kept me from not burning out was just doing what I can do and not taking on more than I can do, and doing the best as I said, the best I could, and not worrying about what I couldn't do. So I emphasize that too. That's very important. But we all can do something, and it's just like climbing a mountain. Not that I've climbed many mountains, but I mean, in a way, I think I have. You can't look at the top of the mountain and get there. You got to look at your feet. Go 1 foot in front of the other, and just continue. And that's all we can do. Continue. We know what's right. Just do what's right, and do whatever you can, and try not to let people drag you down. Just say, I'm just going onward and doing what I believe is right. So that's very important. And if you're going to have people dedicated, if everybody's just going to get in and get out, all these excuses, all these reasons to not be involved, it's never, that's not very productive. It's very anti-productive, and it takes people away. So let's try to all of us just focus on ourselves in that way, and to stay to build up ourselves and be right with what we're doing, and do it for the right reasons, and not worry about everyone else in the meantime. When I spoke about the meetings in the counties, something that has been utilized recently very much was meetup groups. So, and I'm not sure how we can do this, but I know it can be done. Meetup groups to organize the Constitution Party. A lot of computer literate people out there that are much more savvy at this stuff than I am, and I'm looking for all your input and all your help and anything you can do yourself. So that's the other thing that is very important, is to utilize the free access to the internet. And when it comes to educating people, I find that the alternate news sources are that's where I get my news from. The mainstream media has us so controlled. This is why we need a third party to take over one of the two other parties, or something has to happen, because the two parties are just one party. That's what most of us have seen. That's why we end up in a third party. Yet we see the struggle that the third parties have, because two parties have basically rigged the game. So more people have to understand that. because we waste a lot of time trying to reform the other parties. I've done enough of it myself. But once again, it comes down to educating, and people have to be broken out of that paradigm of control that the mainstream media has on the masses. And by the masses, I mean the majority of the people who are in the two-party system that can't see the forest for the trees. Both of these parties are taking us to the same place, and the Constitution Party is at least filled with people that recognize this. And that's the only way it's ever going to work, is to get more people to recognize it, so we all have work to do. And with one at a time, one brick at a time, one step at a time, one soul, one person at a time, we need to wake people up and get them turned around, and to quit following the system that controls us all. So on that note, I'm going to end this video, and once again, I thank you for your interest in the Constitution Party. Please keep coming back to the website. And the other thing, you should try to give us your information. We're trying to build a database, because we don't even have the funds to mail to everybody that we know is registered in the Constitution Party. So we're going to try to have an area there where you can let us know who you are, give us your information, and if you'd like to be on the mailing list and to get email notices and what have you, we need all that stuff. So anything you can do to help us, I appreciate your help, and look for us again on the website.